Welcome to tutorial number 5. In this tutorial we're going to look at how to track ideas. We're going to look at how to track goals, and we're going to look how to track achievements. You see there's one tab in here in between projects. Since project uses ideas as well as achievements, we're going to cover those items first, and projects is a fairly large module, so in tutorial number 6 we will look in detail at projects where we'll reuse some of the things we're going to cover today. So let's start with a simple thing that you can track with the software, which is ideas. And let me just delete this here. So when you start the software for the first time and use the software the first time, of course you see the blank ideas screen here, and ideas is pretty much a very simple kind of almost like a brainstorming function where you can store thoughts and things like that. And so let me record one idea here, and one idea I have here for the software that I want to implement at some point is add a biorhythm function, right? And I can choose the category, of course, that goes into its work life, and here's here priority, so let's say this is a high priority, and then you can just say save, and you will see this is being added here to the list, and you see it's the category and it's the priority. Right, so this is simply where you can store ideas for quick access. What you will also see later when we do introduce projects, you can assign ideas to projects, which is quite a nice feature. If you do have projects, the projects will show up in this section here, and then if you click this checkbox here, it will only show the ideas that are associated with this project, right? So that's pretty much it. Fairly simple, fairly straightforward. Let's look at goals, and this is the goals tab here. And you will recall in some of the earlier lessons when we looked at days, right? We can set days for a goal, and as we discussed previously, I think that's a good habit to form, where you pretty much every day set like short-term, daily achievable goals, so you can organize your workflow. But it also will give you a sense of achievement as you're checking those off, because I think most of us like to check off things off our to-do lists, right? So I did add one daily goal here today, which is record goal, achievement, and ideas video, which is exactly what I'm doing here right now. So this is for short-term goals, right? When you look at the goals module, this is more to track goals that are mid or long range goals, and you will most likely not update those daily. These are more things you can visit every once in a while. So let's do an example here, and we will call a goal like lose weight. Right, so that's the goal name. We can make a description here. Let's say get weight down by 15 pounds. Right, so, and then dimension is most likely physical health, right? So, and can set a target date. I want to achieve this, let's say, by October 31st, 2012, and I can save that, and you see it shows up here. And there's the goal name. I click on it, I get the details here, physical health. And in the % complete section here, it says non-applicable, and the reason for which is because I did not make this goal quantifiable yet. Right? So let's look at what quantifiable means. If I click this checkbox here, it means the goal is quantifiable, and quantifiable means simply it can be tracked by a number. So let's say I want to get my weight to 170 pounds, and I can say I'm starting with, let's say, 190 pounds. And when I save this goal now, you will see that the % complete has changed to 0, because since we have not recorded any kind of status or progress on that goal, we're pretty much at 0% complete. All right. So now once I have this goal, I can, whenever I feel like it, track progress towards that goal. Right. So I could say, for example, as a comment, starting weight as of today is 190, because that's what I already said here is my start, right? So if I record this, you will see, of course, the progress complete is 0, because we have set a goal to lose 20 pounds, and we have pretty much not lost a pound since we are here at 190, right? So let's say 1 week later, we come back here and record some progress. Let's say we are now at 185 pounds, and record this, what you will see now is that this goal has a percentage complete of 25%. Now, how is this calculated? From 190 to 170 is 20 pounds. I have lost 5 pounds so far, so it's 25%, right? The interesting thing about this, so this is actually a goal where I want to reduce the number I'm tracking since I'm losing weight. So let's select this here again and track another progress 2 weeks later. And let's say things have gone somewhat wrong, and I actually from 185 went back to 195, so I've actually gained weight. And if I record this, what you will see is here this cell turns red, and it indicates that we're actually minus 25% complete. Now, how is this calculated? My goal was to lose 20 pounds, but I actually gained 20 pounds from my starting point, so I'm a negative 25%. Right? So this is a very simple way to track numerical goals. So say 3 weeks later, we actually made some good progress to 175, and you see here that says we're 75% correct. So that's for numerical goals. If you want to set again a goal that doesn't need numerical tracking or can't be tracked, so say like become a nicer person, just a qualitative goal. It's most likely social life. You say you want to achieve this by the end of this year. So this goal, of course, cannot be numerically tracked, so you have non-applicable here. And what you would do here is, by regularly tracking progress towards this goal, you pretty much keep yourself on track and also motivate yourself to stick with pursuing this goal. Now, one thing we haven't covered so far, let's go back to the lose weight gain here, goal here, is there's a module in here, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So that's a standard method for strategy development. Right, so if you click on this, it just gives you this box here, and it's a very simple way of recording. So what are my strengths, right? So in pursuing this goal of losing weight, so we can say motivation is one of my strengths because I'm motivated to pursue that goal. What are some of my weaknesses? We can say I want to lose weight, so I can say I like chocolate. That's probably a weakness, right? You can say I like to drink beer, right? Opportunities could be things, thinking of weight loss. What could I do here as an opportunity? I could join a workout group. It could help with losing weight. And then threats could be things that are jeopardizing the goal. So as I said above here, I like to drink beer. So I could say going to happy hour every week is a threat, so that's maybe something I want to consider, and if I want to reduce this or cut this out completely, right? So again, if I close this, go back here, of course it remembers this. So this kind of gives you kind of a point to reflect on the goal you want to achieve and what you have to look out for, right? So it's a pretty quick, neat thing to do, and like I said many times before, the main purpose of this software is to allow you to track most of the things you do in a day, but clearly with the focus of, first of all, getting things done, and then secondly, form good habits, right? So looking at the SWOT analysis here, tracking goals on a regular basis is definitely forming good habits and then staying on track, right? So the last small function we're going to cover here is achievements, and that is another very simple module here. So let me delete this because I entered this prior. So here you can pretty much keep track of achievements that you make over time, and let me talk about this a little bit more in detail. From my experience working in the corporate world, what is very common working in larger companies, probably in smaller companies as well, you set business goals at the beginning of the year that you want to achieve, and people generally do that or they don't. When they do it, write all their goals down, and then 12 months later or so they're having the review, or maybe 6 months later they're having a semi-annual review about where they are in their performance. And most people have the habit of never writing any of the achievements down, and so when it comes review time, they're scrambling to find through their paper notes, the email trails, or whatever, to scramble together to match their actual achievements to their stated goals. And this is risky from a perspective because it's very prone to actually missing achievements, so you're not painting yourself in the best possible light. But also, I found that when you document your achievements to your goals, on an occasional basis, it can actually be quite motivating as well, right? So as one example, I could say here, what is one achievement for me specifically? So I could say, I am finally recording the tutorial videos for my software, right? Which is a major achievement in this context, and its dimension is work. And I can save this, and you'll see here date it's recorded, dimension, and the value here is pretty much 2 corresponds to major, 1 is average, and 0 is minor. This is not used right now in anything else but this display. What we will mostly introduce later is some more analysis, right? So and get some numerical evaluation of how you're doing with your achievements, right? Which brings me also to a point, since this is the beta version of the software, as I mentioned many times before, what we're really looking forward here is feedback, right? So if you have ideas on how this could be used in reports, send those, right? And there's as I mentioned before, go to the help menu, click on feedback, right? You can pretty much here, in this case, that would be a feature, right? Suggest some reports that could be done with this feature, right? I did mention before in ideas, you can link them to a project, right? You can also do this with achievements, right? So if I do record an achievement and it's associated with a project, I can click this button here, or this checkbox here, and then in this drop-down menu here, if there are projects, the project name will show up, and you can simply assign your achievements to projects. And what we will do is, in tutorial number 6, we will go in a very in-depth tutorial about to-do lists and projects. So I do encourage you to watch the next video in which you can then see how you manage projects with the software.